Yo, 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 yo. It is Friday, August 15th, 6:01 p.m. I am late. So sorry. It is This Week in AI News. I can't believe I actually snagged that name. Nobody else has that name. Yay me. All right, I had a large lunch and I'm about to fall asleep. It was so big. So if I'm slower than usual, because I am slow, but if I'm slower than usual, that's what my problem is. All right, let's see if I can. Where am I? I'm not even on screen. I always mess up. Okay, that's what I wanted you to see, but you know, I screwed that up. So let's go back to the screen and get this thing going. Hide that and transition. Let's talk about robots. China touts killer robot wolves. I'm going to watch this in a second, but China has poured support into robotics, an area in which some experts say it might already have the upper hand over the United States. You think? How many Chinese robots haven't I featured on this show over the past like 2 months? And they're absolutely smoking it. You know, today I was in Beverly Hills and I drove by one of them little robot delivery guys. I'm like, embarrassing. It's like they're like little cube things with wheels, and they, you know, they deliver food, I guess. Never use one, but I see them all the time on the west side of LA. And I'm like, okay, so you got this cute little delivery droid. Check out what China's got. And I'm gonna have to mute this, I think. Yeah, I can't mute it. Let me see if I can go watch it on Twitter and mute it there. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's your robot wolf. It's called the Wolf Pack. So I think we've actually seen this particular. Oh my God, that thing's got like a freaking machine gun mounted to it. Oh Lord, have mercy! We've seen this particular robot form. I've shown this exact freaking robot getting up and being all like whatever, like a baby deer, like learning how to walk all by itself. So this is not new. I guess they've just weaponized it. Let's wait for it to put. They have like an AR-15 or something, or an M4 on this thing mounted upside down. You'll see. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's only August and we're already seeing killer robots actually in action. And I predicted this like 2 months ago, and it's like my predictions are tight, bro. I'm nasty with my predictions. Everything that I say comes true. So yeah, we're all gonna die. I'd like to know that. Next. Oh, I have notes. I actually have notes because, as usual, I'm not prepared, so I'm winging it, kind of like I do. Okay, covered the wolf pack. A couple of here's a housekeeping thing. Not really a housekeeping thing. It was just a thing that I'm gonna say. Students. So if you've got like an EDU email, you get 1 year of Google AI Pro for free. That's freaking amazing. It's $20 a month usually. You get it for free. You claim it now with a EDU email. And Google AI Pro is, you know, right now my favorite suite of AI stuff. Gemini Pro 2.5 is in there. Notebook LM is in there. VO3, Flow, Whisk, 2 terabyte storage. Like, I should literally be a Google affiliate. That's how much I talk about them. And recommend them, but right now you can get it for free. I don't have a link for you. Just Google it. Just Google AI Pro free for students, and you will find it. Pretty cool. So yeah, next. All right, here's another cool thing. See, I should be on Google's payroll. Google, hire me because I keep pushing your products, and I'm doing it for free right now. But I might, you know, if OpenAI starts giving me some money, I'm gonna start recommending them. Google. Just kidding. I'm gonna recommend what I think is best for the people that I love, my audience. All right, so Google is rolling out a new Gemini feature that remembers your post conversations automatically. Let me see if I can click this bad boy. Yes. So as of right now, which is awesome because I say I hate a lot. I gotta stop saying I hate things. I don't really hate things. This annoys me to a moderate level. So Gemini AI is now automatically going to remember details about you. You know how ChatGPT, you can say, you know, remember our chats. Google's Gemini didn't really have that. It had like a little section where you could stick specific memories. And I thought it was like, this is kind of limiting because I always have to start new threads and be like, when I end a thread, be like, yo, you're losing your mind. You've gone insane. So I need you to summarize this thread for yourself, for your senile Parkinson's disease AI self at the moment, because you have context rot, which is when the context length is too long and the thing loses the plot and it starts talking yin-yang, gibberish. So summarize your thread so that you can understand what the hell we're talking about when I start a new chat thread. So apparently you don't have to do that anymore because Gemini now automatically remembers it, which is a freaking huge thing. And I haven't really messed with this. I haven't tested out whether this actually works because I've been busy. But if this works, it's going to be very, very nice because what LLMs to me are missing, in my opinion, is memory. Like you want an assistant that remembers. You don't want like to hire a new assistant every day, like a human assistant that comes in every day and forgets who she is and who you are and what the hell she's doing there, right? That would be absurd. So that's kind of how LLMs are currently operating. Freaking kind of annoying because I always got to remind them, yo, this is what I'm working on. I'm writing this novel. I got this machine that I'm building, this AI thingy, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, actually. This whole workflow, automatic SaaS things and web apps and, you know. So it gets exhausting to have to explain myself every time. So if this thing actually remembers who the hell I am and what we're working on, that would be sweet. It would actually make Notebook LM a little less valuable because I use Notebook LM for that purpose of like dump everything in here and now based on this context, let's continue to work. But hopefully now I don't have to do that anymore. The quote is, with the setting turned on, which is now on by default, and I believe is rolling out slowly. I don't think everyone has it right now. That's how these guys always do it. They roll it out slowly. So Gemini will automatically recall your key details and preferences and use them to personalize its output. Very, very nice. Very, very good. Okay. Apparently privacy controls are baked in because users can disable it in settings, and there's a new temporary chats just like ChatGPT had. That will keep certain conversations out of your history and Google's model training with data stored for just 72 hours. So they're going to retain it for a little bit. Kind of sketch. But, and as we know, they're going to keep it forever. Right? They're going to keep it forever. But the fact that it won't be used for context after 72 hours is the thing. So, you know that everything that you ever have put on the internet, anything that, like I have a cell phone and I'm talking, it's recording everything and sending it to who the hell knows. So you don't have no privacy and nothing is ever forgotten. So just understand that for this particular context, you can have it remember your crap forever or for just 72 hours as far as your conversations there. I made a very, very simple thing extremely complicated because that's the way I roll. Okay, next. I'm loving it. What I wanted to show you guys, let me go through these things because I have too many open. Oh, crud apples. Because I just opened this, I didn't even see what. Right before I do these live streams, I'm usually running around like a chick with my head cut off. I do not prepare, which would be very, very obvious from the haphazard way I conduct this live stream. And then I'm like, okay, what's cool? And I clicked on this, and I don't know what the hell it is, but it seems pretty radical. So, China is about to launch SSDs so small you can insert them like a SIM card. So, solid state drives, right? Which is what replaced SATA hard drives, which are the old spinny hard drives, the big suckers that go into computers. And then for laptops, there would be 2.5 inches. So the big one, 5.25 is the like your desktop one. 2.5 is for, was it 3.5 or 2.5? I don't remember. For laptops. And then they switched those to solid state drives. They're smaller. Those, I believe, are all 2.5 inches. And now, because I'm so small, they're like, yay. Remember? Oh my God. Willie, your predictions. This is not quite the prediction, but I predicted a couple of weeks ago that we'll be able to carry the entire internet, as far as our usable internet, what we choose to have as the internet, locally, right? So we'll have it like on our phone, the entire internet on our phone, so that we don't have to connect out besides to update certain content stuff and things like banking, whatever. But that might not even be done through the internet. It might be just direct to the bank, and it'll be different technology. So the internet itself, all the content and videos, whatever, it'll be pulled, stored on something like this big. The entire bloody internet. I say exabytes, 10 exabytes or petabytes. I don't remember, man. It's big. But with quantum computing, with quantum storage, excuse me, it's going to get like really small the form factor to store like mega bazillion bytes of information. So this is like a step in that direction. That's why I'm bringing it up. Again, I'm making very simple things extra complicated and extra verbose because I had a huge lunch, and it's just about, it just hit my lower intestine, like, I don't know, but blood sugar, I don't know, something's going on. Micro SD cards are tiny but slow. The M2 storage sticks in your PC. What? Are blazing fast but bigger and fully enclosed. Now, a new type of SSD out of China could be the best of both worlds. And it's already set to appear in 2 cutting-edge gaming portables. Ooh-wee. Look how small that is. Oh my God. All right, so it is tiny. It's smaller than a US penny, and it's super fast. 3,700 megabytes per second. Woo, that is fast. How much do you get in a regular one? I don't know, 1.5 megabytes per second maybe. If it's slow, maybe 15 if it's fast. I don't know. I'm making these things up off of very vague memories of things that I've looked at. 512 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, and 2 terabyte capacities. So the actual volume isn't great right now, but the speed is nuts, man. Oh, here we go. The new micro SD express cards that work with a Nintendo Switch top out at a theoretical 985 megabits per second, less than a third of the speed. Okay, and this one would be about almost 4,000 megabits per second. So I'm guessing that my calculation is super bad, and it's probably like 150 megabits per second for most SD cards. Why don't I fact check myself? What is average speed of micro SD card read write at a class 10 or whatever? I don't know. 10 megabytes per second. So I wasn't too off. I was right. Yay me for my memory. All right, so that has nothing to do with AI, but or maybe it does, because you can. Oh, I gotta find the relevance. I gotta find the tie-in. So if you have a Mac like mine, which has only 512 gigabytes of internal storage, because bigger ones are just ridiculously more expensive, you, being a smart person like me, would buy a micro SD, and I can't pull it out right now because it'll screw everything up, but I have an adapter that flushes flat in my Mac, and it's got that 1.5 terabyte micro SD card as an additional like internal hard drive. And it's cool because I can pop it out and put another one in, blah blah. And the thing only cost me like $10 on like Alibaba Express, so super good deal. The actual memory card cost me like 100 or something like that, maybe $80. So for another $100, I got a removable 1.5 terabytes of extra storage. Pretty nice. But the thing is slow, It's like watching paint dry when you're transferring files. It's like, and what does that do? It means that I cannot really offload a model, an AI model, to that. Let's say about internal storage. I have to have all my models on my internal storage, my internal hard drive, and that eats up a lot of freaking hard drive. Because each model is between, the minimum is going to be like 8 gigs minimum, and most of them like 12 to I don't know, 20. I'll say about 12 to 15, I guess, 12 to 16 gigs, which is fine. But then if you're like me and you're a lunatic and you download 10 models because you want to test them all, that right there is 160 gigs out of a 512 gigabyte hard drive, which already 200 gigs is system nonsense. You run out of space. So this thing will solve that, because then you can have the external hard drive be super, super fast. That's all I'm going to say about that topic. Next, let me check my notes, because I'm back to the screen and we already covered that. Okay, I'm gonna close that, and I don't know what this is. I clicked on it. Prompt vote. Let's figure something out. What? Oh, the classic question. How many R's are in the word strawberry? What is this? Stop with the pop-up. Bro. Dudes. Failed to accept terms of use. Screw you. See? I got no patience. Whatever you are, whatever I clicked on you for, lmarena.ai, you're garbage. So bye. Next thing. I might have talked about this before, but I don't think I've emphasized it enough. Free AI training. If you want to get serious about this, AWS Skillbuilder covers a lot of stuff. So it covers cloud computing, and it covers generative AI. And I think most of this is free. Yeah, there's a create free account here. Export Gen AI courses. And dang. So some of these are paid, right? Blah, blah, blah. But then you've got some free stuff. Generative AI with diffusion models. Foundations of prompt engineering. Building a generative AI ready organization. ... So what I'm probably going to do is go into one of these, or 7 or 10 of them, have Gemini summarize them, and make my own little training thing for either myself or other people. And it'll be hunky-dory, because this looks very, very long and boring. So I just wanted to present that to you. AWS Skillbuilder. The URL is skillbuilder.aws. And they also have stuff, like I should learn this stuff, because I'm starting to put stuff on AWS Cloud. Like EC2 instances, and all that stuff is very confusing to me. I have a PostgreSQL database running on AWS, and don't ask me how I got it there. Don't ask me how I take it away. Don't ask me what I'm paying for it. I don't know any of these things, because Gemini helped me set it up. But I know I got one there. It's for my fishing app, and I haven't been hit with a $300 bill yet, so I think I'm good. But is doing something. So I should learn probably about this. So get started in cloud training will probably educate me on these things. AWS account setup learning plan. I should probably take that course. But it's bloody 4 hours and 20 minutes long. Holy crap. Is there anything that's like 20 minutes? Not even. 20 minutes is too long for me these days. I need like 30-second. This is what you do, just right into my brain. Oh, but I need to learn this. This thing confuses the crap out of me. Oh my God, and this too. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud. I've seen that term in relation to my stuff. And this too, simple storage service. So I should probably take all of these courses, because I'm messing with this, but I have no clue. If it wasn't for the, oh my God, Amazon EC2. If it wasn't for the chatbots that are teaching me, and literally when I say teaching me, I'm like, tell me step by step what to do, and it says, okay, go to your browser, click this, because that's where I'm at, So sorry, I didn't go to university to learn AWS Cloud. Anyway, that's for your reference. Okay, closing that. Oh, here's the little workflow. This is part 2, right? So here's what I'm building. Save changes. Core. I don't remember what it stands for. And it was a cool thing, something. But I'm building core. First thing, I've shown this thing before. I've changed it a little bit, so it's through a webhook now. So it's detecting when I go to a specific website, a specific URL. That is a trigger, right? So I can trigger this from anywhere. I don't have to be in N8N to do this. I trigger it, which is this webhook node, and let me just double check because I am pretty dumb sometimes and I think I'm sharing a screen and I'm not. Yes, I am sharing the screen. All right, so back to the lab. Gets many posts from a specific subreddit at this point. I'm still using Reddit. I will be expanding to other data sources, but since Reddit is pretty good with data and up-to-date data, I'm using this. I understand that X is probably another place that I need to hook into and use their APIs or something, or scrape it or some other way, but I need Reddit, X, and a couple of others. Then I have a locally running AI. So I use DeepSeek R1 for right now, 14 billion parameter. And it does this little analysis thing, and it writes certain codes, and it creates a document in Google Firestore, which is free for a certain level of use. And I think that I am okay with the simplicity of this workflow, not triggering any actual charges. So that's a little tip for you. Firestore, which is a Google product, is a good option. All right, so that's for databases. Then, so what does it do? It looks for opportunities and it writes. Do I have it open here? Let's see. And it writes and figures out a summary of the problems. It's looking for pain points and a proposed solution. Okay. Then I take that into this new other workflow. And here's a whole shebang-a-lang of things that happen where literally will develop a product to address, for example, this problem and this solution. Okay. So guys, to figure this stuff out, man, it's hard. Like if you're intimidated by this, you're as intimidated as I am looking at Comfy UI. That thing is scary to me, and I don't even mess with it because it's just like, what am I even looking at? This might look similar to you, but it's a little bit cleaner and a little bit more understandable in my view. So it just takes it's on a schedule. So that first thing will accumulate opportunities in particular SaaS or web apps, like potential products. I go in and I say, I approve this one, this one, this one. So I approve them, okay? That's all I do. This thing is running on a 5-minute interval, okay? And it automatically will look every 5 minutes, are there any new approved products? But this guy is saying, hey, I'd like to build them. If it is, boom, we're gonna build them. So it goes, queries that Firestore database. I have some nodes to clean up the data and make it understandable for the subsequent nodes, and also to pass through certain information that sometimes get lost. Like when the LLM takes it, it'll strip certain things out. So I need to do like some engineering to pass some, like the doc ID of the. I have to pass the information. Okay, so let's not get too technical. Validates things, blah, blah, blah. There's an if statement. So if this is actual code, it merges up here and it writes the actual thing in an understandable form. And so here is generating a literal program, right? It writes the code here. and it flows through all this, and it writes 4 files, which will be the HTML, the index.html, a Python file, a requirements text. So it'll tell Vercel to download, to install the dependencies, and then there's something else, a Vercel.json file, which Vercel needs in order to make this crap work, and it automatically executes it. It automatically deploys it to Vercel. So what I built, I think this is pretty smart. I'll say, okay, I need products. I need to ship some products. Look at Reddit. Look at eventually X. Look at whatever. Scan them for opportunities. What are people talking about? These are potential opportunities. Okay, thank you for that list. These all look like they're crap, or these solutions already exist. Well, here's one that maybe will work. A couple of them. Boom, approved. It goes to this one. It builds it. It builds it. Now, it doesn't build a fully working app, okay? What it does do, I'll show you, it does little prototypes. So let's look at these. I think I have them open. So here's an AI career coaching thing for loan originators. Why loan originators? Because I used to sell mortgages, right? I was a mortgage guy for a while. So I'm familiar with that world. And I'm like, there's a lot of money in that world. And I don't want to go ahead and get licensed and all that crap and be an originator again. But I would like to service that industry because I'm very familiar with it. I used to make a lot of money with it, and I know it pretty much inside and out. I was nasty with it. I was good. So this is, just one subreddit that I'm exploring. So it has a little licensing guide type of, these are more or less placeholders, right? None of this actually works. If I go to licensing guide, it's just gonna scroll down. Like none of this mid-level senior. This is like a prototype, an idea, a sketch. Here's another one that it generated. Okay, similar deal: licensing, compensation, employer connections. Let's enter Florida. Get started, and it doesn't do anything, right? Because it's just a dummy page. And then blah blah blah. Now, what happens here? Then there's going to be some human in the loop stuff, of course, because I can build up to 200 products in Vercel for free, and believe me, I'm going to. So it'll build them, and then I go through and I'm like, this sucks, so I'm going to delete it, right? Like, what does it do? I have 3 of the same thing, so I'm going to delete one or delete both, whatever. I start iterating, start creating products that maybe this one I will deploy. So other nodes that are going to be happening are going to be go-to-market plans, then the actual marketing, the actual social posts and forum posts and everything like that. It's all going to be automated. There's going to be a lot of human involvement still because I'm just not going to let this bot thing go crazy. I'm going to be monitoring and guiding, and I do want to make money with it. I think that requires for me to be like the CEO as opposed to just let this thing go crazy. So the next step would be connect. I think you only have 3 on a free plan, and I might pay. I don't think it's very much money to have like a bunch more where it's connected to a Git repository. And then I can use Visual Studio Code or Gemini CLI or some other thing to work on it and actually make it a workable product. So that's my workflow right now. Why am I sharing all this stuff instead of keeping it a secret? Because I think the sharing is caring. There you go. No, because I think that this is cool. This is just cool stuff, and if you really want to learn it, you'll learn it. So why don't I might as well teach it? And some of you guys run with it. Some of you guys don't run with it. But this is reality. I'm building applications. I'm building web pages. I'm building stuff using AI as my actual employee. I am creating digital employees. Wild. All right. Enough of that. Blah, 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 yada, yada. And then one of the subsequent workflows, as I mentioned, is going to be the marketing side, right? So this guy created an Instagram account on full autopilot. I have not tried this yet. I have not, but let's just take a look. So he has created a viral video autopilot AI agent, 3 branches. So he's got three sub agents, right? Like what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build an organization, an entire scaffolded, what the hell is the term? Hierarchical. There's a hierarchy, levels of authority and stuff, and different agents are going to be the workers. So he's got a viral video hunter AI agent, a video creator, and the scheduler. So similar in a form of what I have. He's finding top trending videos with 500K views in the past 48 hours. He's extracting the captions, engagement, and hashtag metadata. Taking a screenshot at T minus 3 seconds, I guess. I can't read that. Downloading audio and transforming to text. Creating a score out of 100 based on engagement. So there's where the AI brain figures things out. Adds data to Google Sheets. Google Sheets is just a great solution because it ties into pretty much everything. So I highly recommend Google Sheets. Because I have, I was going to use Google Sheets for my workflow that I just showed you, but Gemini kept saying no, and I kept arguing, and I kept saying no. Believe me, you're going to want to use Firebase, Firestore, because there's going to be certain things that we're going to add to this that are going to make Google Sheets a nightmare and Firestore super easy. So I'm like, all right, cool, we'll do it. Then it's got a video creator AI agent. So the actual workforce creates scripts using AI, adds prompts to Google Sheets, generates the videos using Video 3, saves the videos to the database, creates captions based on a template, updates Google Sheets. And then it schedules the bloody things. Creates a posting calendar with time and dates, selects the content that is ready to be posted. So that's obviously a human in the loop factor. So he goes in probably and just says, this is ready to be posted, or I approve this, blah, 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 blah. Takes the video from the database, uploads it to Instagram, and all automatic. So you bet your butt that I'm going to be creating my own version of this, because this is dope. Let's see what else is on here. This is a Reddit post. I'll scroll through, but people are freaking out. Like, this is elite work, outstanding build, yes, 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 yes. So people are, languages, Golang. I was getting tired of N8N noodle charts. Well, I do not even know what the hell Golang is, so I will be continuing to use N8N and the noodle charts because whatever. So if you want to see this, let me see. Can I possibly share this? It's in R automation, and 2 months ago from Matt G21. If you want to look at this and dive deep, I would say that there's some valuable information here because he talks about how, where was it? He talks about the API. Okay, so someone asked, do you use some Instagram APIs to automatically post? Which library are you using? Isn't Instagram flagging you? And he says, they actually have a graph API that allows you to post automatically. And so far, no, it doesn't get flagged, likely because it's official documentation by Instagram. Scraping is a different beast though, doing it through Appify for now. So it tells you little things you might need to know. Appify for, okay. So Appify or Appify seems to be something I might need or you might need to make this work without getting banned and stuff. Okay. Here's another one. The channel is Let's Automate It, and this post is automate your social media posts with N8N. So this is specifically for N8N users like me and like most of you, I think. So, so it's an RSS feed published in the past 24 hours, scrapes the article, gets the plain text from the scrape, summarizes it via a LLM, creates the image prompt, then we create the image, then it sends an approval via, see, it creates Facebook post, There's a database in there, Telegram, I guess for notification. It waits. If approved, it doesn't do it. If not approved, it dies. If it's approved, then it goes somewhere here. Post to Facebook, create LinkedIn post, create IG. So I guess it does all three. Nice. So this is also pretty powerful, and I will be incorporating this into my workflows. It's got a different version, or they have a different version of with a human in the loop. So this one's also highly reviewed by the comments, right? So this is something that you currently pay buffer for to schedule your things and maybe create things in advance, and it's just slow. But guys are making amazing workflows that solve all these problems, and this guy's giving away the data for free. That's why I don't mind sharing my stuff. I'm like, you know what? It's going to come back to me somehow, some way. It's going to I'm going to make a connection, and it's already happened. I'm making connections. I'm making friends in this space, and right now it's almost like the early days of the internet. Everyone's kind of open and sharing whatever, and I'm sure at one point I was going to be like, no, this is my secret sauce. But for right now, I think we're all kind of in this together, and we're all learning together. So yeah, check this out. Automate your social media posts with N8N. He's got it's an hour long. I still haven't watched it. I think I might watch it right after this live. Where he covers the whole shebang, how he does the whole bloody thing. Bloody. Okay. That's so racist. All right. That's that. Let me check if there's anything else I need to share. Probably not. Check my notes. Do I want to cover this? Do I want to cover this? I should cover this because this is kind of relevant, and I'm at 38 minutes. So I have time. Let's cover this guy. This guy talking all that yin yang. Oh, by the way, Grok 4 is free for everyone at the moment. So go ahead and check out Grok 4 for free, because that was a response to OpenAI's ChatGPT 5 and their two open source models, GPT OSS 20 billion parameter and 140 billion, which I still have not messed with because it didn't work on LM Studio. So after this, I'm probably going to download it and mess with it. All right, so let's go to this thing right here on LinkedIn. Ed Biden. If you notice, I don't use my own my own real LinkedIn thing because I don't want people knowing that I'm looking at their profile, right? LinkedIn says, Joe Blow looked at your profile. I'm like, I don't want people to know I'm looking at the profile. I want to be able to cyber stalk. So I'm cyber stalking Ed Biden at the moment with Jennifer Headley, who is not a real person. That's not even her real picture. And this guy's like, okay, the whole vibe coding trumps, what are PRDs? Product requirement documents. There we go. So this guy's talking about all this crap about you need a PRD, you need specs when you're vibe coding, or else you're going to be lost. So I kind of agree, kind of disagree. I think I mentioned before in an earlier one that I went through this whole thing about creating what I call the SDD, System Design Document, and plugged it into Gemini. And I spent, not that long, like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, ooh, this is going to be so good because now it's going to have like a roadmap. And it completely ignored the damn thing. I think I even put it into VS Studio, Visual Studio Code, as like a readme.md and all my stuff in there. And it just totally ignored it. Even I specifically referenced it, but whatever. That's life. So this guy is saying that if you vibe code without writing a spec, you end up building stuff you don't want and doesn't work. Okay. So he says vibe coding makes the speed of building fast. So clarity on what you're building and why is essential. Start without it and you'll be stuck in a bug loop or design contradiction in no time. Okay. Humans and AI tools all need the same crisp context. Specs are the single source of truth. When the bloody LLM decides to use your specs, When it just decides to do whatever the hell it wants, then there ain't no truth by whatever it decides. Anyway, a tight, shareable spec gets your own thinking clear and makes it shareable with others. That I'm gonna give it to Mr. Ed Biden here. What should I be like Joe Biden, just like using a fake avatar? He's like, I'm actually an AI guru. So it does help organize your thinking when you have a spec sheet and you can see like the roadmap of what your product is going to be, what kind of architecture you're envisioning, yada, 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 yada. The real drag is real work. Building the wrong thing costs magnitudes more time than writing the right spec. PRDs are time savers, not time sinks. Product requirement documents. Remember, product requirement documents. I think that's what it stands for. It tells you how advanced of a coder I am. I don't even know that. I've taught hundreds of product managers and founders to vibe code, and one of the most fundamental lessons is that you get further faster with a clear spec. Okay, and here's the little, this is the only reason why I'm sharing this, because I don't feel like lecturing people about how they vibe code. He says good PRDs don't take long, and he shares this nice little methodology. Try this prompt with your favorite LLM. I am about to describe a product idea. Ask me one clarifying question at a time until you have enough to draft a bulletproof spec. Within a few minutes, you'll have a draft PRD ready for anyone, human AI, to work from. You can make this even faster by having this conversation through a voice-to-text tool like Super Whisper. Okay, so good points. I approve of this because it clarifies my own thinking, my own kind of roadmap. Because when I first started vibe coding or AI coding, I really hate the term vibe coding. Someone needs to come up with something better. I would just be like, okay, so I want to see this, and it would pop up a prototype, and I had no idea what it was. Okay, you know. And while I ended up building solid MVPs, it took a long time because I really didn't know much about anything. Now, somebody here made a point, which I kind of agree with. Is that the one? No. Okay, this is the one. Evangelos says your bottom line is way off. The whole prompting process makes you better at thinking. Asking the right questions is the most important thing a PM should do, not describing solutions. And I agree with that, because what I was going to say earlier is that I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what else to ask. But the process of building itself taught me so much. Like, I didn't know about Google Cloud before. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to use AWS. But the fact that I was building using these things now informs me to the point where I could even write a spec sheet for a new product, at least a basic one. Whereas before, I would have been like, I don't know what the architecture, I don't even know what an architecture is. Like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Just use Google Sheets, because that's all I know. Use Google Sheets, Google Docs, and stick it together with some duct tape. So the point is, again, I'm making something very simple extra complicated, and this one I've just like butchered it. But if you want a guide for your next build, this prompt is pretty valuable. I'm about to describe a product idea. Ask me one clarifying question at a time until you have enough to draft a bulletproof spec. Take that spec, clean it up, put it into another LLM, have them critique it, build it, expand it. Once you have it to a nice level, copy it, save it to your G drive or whatnot, and then also save it to a readme.md file, and that could guide your next build. Okay, I think that's everything on my little notes, and I am done. Kaput. Finito. Yeah, last thing I wanted to say was Musk has their V7 Grok has finished pre-training, is natively multimodal, which means it's going to be able to process images, video, probably voice, screen, whatever, natively, which is awesome. It processes a video audio bit stream directly, understanding it without converting it into anything. So for example, it will fully understand nuances in how you speak that convey mood and yada, yada, yada. It will boost one-shot game generation by generating a game, playing it, observing on-screen feedback, editing code, and feeding those rollouts back into training. A model-in-the-loop self-improvement pipeline that raises one-shot success probability, but also multiplies compute, latency, and safety surface area. So it's going to be more expensive for inference, obviously, because it's going through so much stuff. So compute's going to be longer and pricier, and it's going to take longer. But I would chop off my own foot if I didn't have to correct these LLMs so much. I mean, some of the conversations that I have are quite shameful, and I'm ashamed of myself for getting so snarky and mad at Gemini. Especially is very much a target of my abuse sometimes, because I'm like, dude, I just told you to look at this, and you continue to do it, and then it says, I'm so sorry, you are so right. So we're all learning. It's all a work in progress, and things are very, very exciting. So stay here. Apparently I'm the only one who has a YouTube show called This Week in AI News. So hells yeah. I like that I'm early. I'm early to everything, but I was luckily early to this. And we'll keep going, bro. So this has been Jennifer Headley, graphic designer at IBM, signing off. Peace.